Hello and welcome back to the Rosevear YouTube channel. We're back in Clark Street. We took a little detour to our other two branches, so we've come back.
We're back home.
It's not as warm today. I noticed coming in today, so we've had a nice period of hot weather, and hopefully it comes back. Fingers crossed.
May be finishing either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, we've got something a little bit more
a little bit special, actually.
Yeah, on the interesting side, just because, I've been drinking like very fruity, summery stuff to go along with the weather, but we thought we'd try something different. And we realized that we hadn't talked at all about our yellow teas.
And Paul has made us some Emperor's Reserve yellow tea.
Lovely of Paul.
It is really, really nice, actually.
I mean, he refuses to be in the videos, but he will very kindly make us
He's
the tea.
round the corner back there.
It's a really amazing tea. It's one, yellow tea in general is something that people come into the shop and they go, what the hell's that? I've never heard of that before in my life. And it's very different to anything else, really. It's pretty unique. It's got a different process, hasn't it? So
it has. It's one of the 6 types of Chinese tea.
Mm-hmm.
We've got green tea, black tea, oolongs, pu'ers, dark teas, white tea, and yellow tea.
Yeah, nice.
And it's got a long history. It goes back at least until the Ming Dynasty, and possibly further, although we're not absolutely certain whether it goes back to, say, the Song Dynasty. And it's got a different process to the other types of tea. It's closest to green tea, but it has an extra stage, which makes it different.
Yeah, and it tastes quite significantly different from green tea because of that process.
Yes.
Do you want to tell them about the difference then?
Absolutely. Well, so follows the process of green tea. So often, particularly with Chinese teas, there's usually plucked in the spring harvest. It can be the only harvest actually we have with Chinese green teas. You have the withering process, which is the process of removing water from the leaves. The leaves have been picked, and the water content of the leaves is reduced with withering. Then you've got a fixation stage, which is a stage where the enzyme, which would normally be used in oxidation, is actually denatured. So oxidation, if you think of, say, an apple, you bite into an apple, it very quickly turns brown, and that is oxidation. And it's surprising that when you pick a green leaf, it actually dries and stays green. You would expect a leaf to be picked and it would turn yellow, brown, and black.
Yeah,
it stays green because the enzyme, which is necessary for oxidation, is denatured with heat. So the green tea process, you've got heat is put onto the leaf in different ways. In Japan, they're doing it with steam.
Yeah.
And in China, it's either in a scalding wok, someone with no sensitivity on their fingers pressing against the side of a wok, or a very hot room. Really a very hot room. It could be up to 200 degrees. Incredibly hot.
Wow.
So you've got...
They must take a while to get used to that. Or do you think it's genetic?
I don't know. It's really hard to understand how you wouldn't get yeah. So that you've fixed it. Your next stage is rolling. So making those large, beautiful leaves, and then you followed exactly the same process you would do with a Chinese green tea. Now, for the yellow tea, there's an extra stage. It's called Mèn Huáng. Apologies for Chinese speakers, that won't be perfectly said. And it's a non-enzymic oxidation, which is
getting into the technical stuff here. Yeah.
Pretty technical. And you've already had the enzymes destroyed during the fixation process, but you're in the yellowing process, the leaves are put into a heap and covered in a cloth, and and this process can be might be for a few hours, might be for 6 hours, might be up to 3 days. And in this heap, you've got some oxidation that takes place, and that reduces the grassiness of the tea. So yellow tea does taste different to green tea. Also, some of the polyphenols are changed as well. So there's a difference in flavour there. You've got a more nutty flavour. I mean, I noticed something of a bit like toast actually in the flavour notes.
Yeah,
here.
I was going to say that too, actually.
Yeah. And so you've got that extra stage, the Mèn Huáng stage, and then you go back into the stage of final drying, and then the tea is ready.
So there's a lot of different reasons that it gets referred to as yellow tea, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's kind of symbolic
you can take
reasons
your
pick. And symbolism and history and the process and all this sort of thing. And also, I guess, the color that it brews at. But you want to tell us about, pick a favorite reason.
Well, one reason would be, and this particular tea comes from a place in China called Yellow Mountain. So that's one reason. Probably the main reason I would say is that yellow was the imperial color, was the color of the imperial courts. And the type of tea that was used for yellow tea was a tribute tea, which was sent from the tea farm to the imperial courts.
In yellow cloth.
In yellow cloth as well.
I love the
There's
symbolism.
so much yellow involved in this.
We love yellow, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess it must have been a more expensive dye. That tends to be what happens. It's that, the royal color tends to be the sort of hardest color to make out of fabric and things like that. It gets associated with wealth.
Yeah. And it's talking about things being the best or the more expensive. The tea that's used for yellow tea was obviously very, very good tea, because if you're the tea farmer sending your tribute tea to the imperial court,
that's a lot of
you're
pressure.
going to send your good stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you want them to think the best of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. It does have it's got an astringency. It's like a bit vegetal, but a bit sort of toasty underneath. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very toasty.
It's quite different, quite different to any of even the Chinese green teas. Like, you really do get a different experience drinking it. Yeah, so this is the Emperor's Reserve that we've got, as you said, but we've got 2 yellow teas. They're actually just behind me on this shelf here. We have Kekecha is the other one.
Yeah. And that, taste-wise, that one's quite different. You've got taste notes of, I think of something of a pu'er, raw pu'er to it. And there's a tropical fruit note as well, maybe papaya.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, it's very different. Yeah, I think this is on the sort of more roasty side, and then that one's more sort of fruity, sweeter.
And this one is closer to a green tea.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, there's been a few sort of taste stories with this tea in particular. I've always been very jealous. I really want to go on one of our tea tasting trips. I know that Isabel went and met yellow tea farmers in Jeju Island.
She did, yeah.
I would love to go to Korea, go to Jeju Island. Like, that would be so amazing. And we've hosted a tea tasting as well, where we did have the Emperor's Reserve as one of the teas there, and I know it did really, really well.
Yeah, and that might have been the tea that people preferred out of all the different teas we tried, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would depend on the group of people and everyone's taste, but it must be really interesting to sort of see what does well.
That was a tasting that was quite surprising, because I was expecting, as you often do with a tasting, that you actually do, black tea, oolongs, pu'ers, and you sort of cross the whole range of possible teas. But they wanted green tea. So I thought, great, we'll do green teas. And I thought, I do want to do something, a bit different to green tea as well. So we introduced yellow tea, and that was the one they preferred, actually.
I mean, very cool. I mean, I have been trying to persuade everyone that we should be doing some more tea tasting. So, if that's something you'd be interested in coming along to, this is in the Clark Street branch. I mean, we have some space. Um, it's something I would really like to do, and because I didn't get to go to that one last time, and so yeah, I think we should do some more of those. I think that would be really fun.
We should do more tea tastings. You're right.
So yeah, give us a comment or an email or whatever if you'd be interested in like that sort of thing. That was a private booking, I think.
That was a private
one.
booking. A group of 8 people who wanted it was for a special anniversary. Yeah.
So we can work things out. I think figure out some different ways to do it. I think it would be a really interesting experience, and it would allow us to talk about the tea knowledge to something other than a camera. I think it give us an opportunity to do this, but in person. I think could be cool.
But there were some similarities to what we do here, because on that particular tasting, the teas were made by Paul, who's made our tea here.
There you go.
By the way, when you sit in here, if you come in during the week, there's a good chance that your tea would be made by Paul as well. He really makes tea well.
He does. We do try and make him make us the tea when we're filming the video, which obviously, we should show him appreciation for that.
We do. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for watching our video about yellow teas today. That was fun. I think maybe we should talk about like the white teas soon.
Yeah. Okay.
And we can do all sorts. We've still got some plans, but if you want anything else, let us know.
Yeah, do let us know if there's any subjects you would want us to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, we're always happy to just sit and drink tea and chat.
Definitely.
It's not a hard
life.
Always. So yeah, we'll see you next time. We'll see you in store, whatever you like. Okay.
See you next time.